All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a single sentence of ancient wisdom, and it's a bold one. It claims to hold the key to, well, your entire life. I know, that's a huge claim. So let's see if it actually holds up. But before we get to the verse itself, let me ask you something. What's the most valuable thing you protect in your life? I mean, really think about it. Is it your phone with the fancy case and screen protector? Maybe your home, with the alarm system. Or your bank account with all those crazy passwords. We all have something we guard instinctively. Just hold that thought for a second. Because what we're looking at today offers a pretty radical challenge to whatever you just thought of. This wisdom comes from the book of Proverbs. And this one verse, wow, it gives a surprisingly direct instruction on what our number one priority should be. Let's break this thing down. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning with the first few words, above all else. Think about that phrasing. It doesn't say, hey, if you get a minute, or this is a pretty good idea. Nope. It says above all else. This isn't just another item on your to-do list. It's being slammed right on the top. It's priority number one. So remember what you thought of earlier? Your phone, your wallet, your house? This verse basically takes all of those things, puts them on one side of a scale, and then on the other side, it places something it says is infinitely more valuable, your heart. It's a complete flip of our usual priorities, right? It's shifting our focus from all the external stuff to what's going on inside. Okay, so that leads us right into the main event, the central command of the verse. What in the world does it actually mean to guard your heart? To really get it, we need to unpack two things. First, what exactly is this heart? And second, what does it mean to guard it? So first up, the heart. Now, we're not talking about the physical organ pumping blood. In this context, the heart is like the control center for your entire inner world. It's where your thoughts, your desires, your will, your emotions, it's all housed there. You could say it's the absolute core of who you are. It's the real you that's living behind your eyes. And what about guarding this core? Well, let me tell you, this is not a passive thing. It's not about just sitting back and hoping for the best. The word itself implies this active, constant vigilance. Seriously, picture a security guard at a museum, the one standing next to a priceless diamond. They are alert, they're watchful, they're intentional. That's the kind of energy we're talking about here. So you might be thinking, okay, that sounds intense. How do I actually do that? Well, we can break it down into 3 practical steps. First, you've got to monitor the inputs. Be really aware of what you're watching, what you're reading, who you're listening to. And let's be real, this is harder than ever with that constant fire hose of social media news, right? Second, you have to filter that content. Just ask yourself, is this building me up or is it tearing me down? And finally, you have to actively cultivate the good. Like a gardener, you have to intentionally plant and water the thoughts that are positive and true. All right, now let's get to the last part of the verse. This is the why. This is the part that reveals exactly why guarding your heart is so incredibly critical. It gives us the reason for this urgent command, for everything you do flows from it. This is the ultimate statement of cause and effect. I want you to think of your heart like a wellspring or a fountain, right at the top of a mountain. Now, whatever's in that source, that's what's going to determine the quality of the stream that flows down. If the source is clean and pure, the streams are going to be life-giving. But if that source gets polluted, everything downstream gets contaminated. The metaphor is simple, but so profound. Your entire life is just the stream flowing from the wellspring of your heart. And this isn't some abstract philosophical idea. Look at these examples of the outflows. The words that come out of your mouth, yep, they start as thoughts in your heart. Your actions, your behaviors, they begin with your inner desires and will. Your biggest life decisions, the health of your relationships, even that inner feeling of peace or lack of it, it's all a direct reflection of what's going on in your inner core. See? Everything flows from the heart. Okay, so let's pull all this together and talk about how we can actually apply this wisdom like today. If your heart is the wellspring, you can also think of it as the rudder on your life's ship. It's wild, right? That tiny little rudder determines the entire direction of a massive vessel. And in the exact same way, the small internal state of your heart determines the entire direction of your life. So really, this is the big question that this whole explainer has been leading up to. Knowing all this, knowing your heart is the source of your entire life, what are you allowing to feed it? Think about it. The shows you binge watch, the accounts you follow on social media, the conversations you get pulled into, are those things purifying that source, or are they polluting it? At the end of the day, the takeaway here is as simple as it is profound. Your life is a direct reflection of your heart, and guarding it isn't just some defensive, passive thing. It is the single most important, proactive step you can possibly take to create a life of purpose and health and integrity. Your life flows from your heart, so above all else, protect it.